right, let's pop over to the big guy in the news and the fact that we've had that pause and the conversations are at least happening. Yeah, I mean, Matt, I got to say you're watching this much more closely than I, even though we're all kind of getting wrapped up in it. And who's I will throw this to you as well, actually. Almost a little bit more of a student of Donald Trump and paying attention to how he likes to negotiate and reading between the lines in terms of his messaging. There's a possibility that he walks away from all of this without doing the tariffs and just saying like I got what I wanted, and he bolsters himself a little bit, or it's going to be not quite what he said it was, and this is what he was going for all along.
That's the thing with Donald. It's attack, attack, attack. It's to ask for as much as possible and then start taking some of that away so that it feels like the other side is getting a bit of a win. We saved ourselves a month. Canada's basically doing what it had proposed it was going to do in December anyways, with the $1.3 billion spending. So he's agreed to wait another month. But I've always felt that there's a two-prong approach to his tariffs. I think he was threatening the border and threatening the fentanyl and the people crossing the border because the American people that voted him in want to hear that. They want to hear that he's taking action. And it's also a way for him to see what he can get away with, what kind of negotiating power he has with these countries. And, let's face it, Canada's in a weak position right now because of our economy, because we don't have a sitting government right now, because we're headed for potential election in the spring. The U.S. has a lot of leverage against Canada right now, and he's exposing that, and he's trying to see what he can get out of the deal. That's who Donald Trump is. That's how he does his business. So he's given us 30 days, but he's also said in the beginning that he is going to reevaluate the trade in April to see what additional tariffs he might put on our country. I think Donald Trump's ultimate plan is to try and bring more manufacturing back to the country. So if you tariff a country and you also say on the other side, if you bring your business to our country, we're only going to tax you at 15%. He's giving them a way to say, hey, well, if we're going to pay 25% in tariffs and we can, instead of paying 30% taxes here, we can pay 15% taxes there. He's thinking that he's going to drive companies back into the U.S. I think that's his tactic. It's odd, though, because Canada makes a lot of stuff that they sell to the U.S. that goes into a final product. We ship a lot of oil, minerals, things that are used to then build something else, right? So maybe that scenario works a little bit better for Mexico. Maybe they build a lot more product that's finished and gets sent over. China definitely does. So I don't know. He keeps asking for Canada to be the 51st state. He wants to do something with Greenland. He's got a lot of things on his plate right now, and because of the way he negotiates, it's very hard to tell exactly what he wants. He's not going to tell you to the last minute, and he's going to try and push the envelope to see what he can get with his rhetoric, I guess, is the only way to really say it, is try to really put the pressure down and see what cracks. And let's face it, Canada and Mexico, within 48 hours, we had deals in place to push this off for a month. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens over the next month with those relations.
Yeah, I think the high level takeaway is the way he governs, and like you mentioned, the rhetoric, it does cause a lot of uncertainty in the markets. And you see that both in the stock market, jobs market, all that kind of stuff. And I think that what's important for people getting ready to make a real estate decision is that we don't know what that's going to look like. But at the end of the day, we do know what's going on in the market right now, right? So take a look at the market where you're buying, take a look at the market where you're selling, figure out how you can overlap those in terms of timing. How long is it going to take me to sell mine versus how much choice do I have where I'm buying? What's the gap in the price there? And if all those things line up to get you what you want, you're still good to go. You just have to make sure that you're not getting swept up in all of this. And the biggest thing that I think that the people that will get hurt by what he's doing and the amount of uncertainty are the speculators. the end of the day, if you're trying to make a smart real estate decision for your family because you want to upsize, you want to get to a new neighborhood, you got to be closer to family, all that is still very much possible. You can block out a lot of this stuff. It's the speculators that need to be watching out for what's going on here. And that's the big takeaway I'd leave people with today.
Absolutely agree. I agree on that. Long term, I think Canada's always going to do fantastic. There's always going to be ups and downs, and there's always going to be a boogeyman that shows his head. But I think I think at the end of the day, Canada, US get back on track and start moving forward together.